Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Nurses Championing Nurses. I'm your podcast host, Gentry. I've been a registered nurse for 6 years now, and I work in the intensive care unit. And like many of you out there listening right now, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with my job. I love helping people. I love the profession as a whole. But man, there are days I just don't feel like I can do it anymore. And I know I'm not the only one. It's been in the last couple of years that I've realized, even though I love my profession, I actually have a deeper passion. And that passion is you, my fellow healthcare professionals, my fellow nurses, physicians, surgeons, nurse techs, surgical techs, physical therapists. Basically, if you're in the healthcare field, my heart is for you and this podcast is for you. I have been really excited about starting this podcast for a while now. Because like I said, my heart is for you. And as I watch us walk into our hospitals, I am recognizing that we are not in a good state of health right now. I can imagine you would probably agree with me. We're walking through a really intense phase of burnout. It's a season. It's awful. We are losing nurses and doctors left and right, baby nurses who are normally super excited to do things and see things. They're walking out after 1 year experience saying, this is not what I signed up for. I don't want to do this. This isn't for me. I mean, and how terrible is that? Because the nursing profession, medical field in general, it's noble. It's good. We need more of us. But our environments are not entirely conducive to keeping us. Now, I can't change your specific work environment any more than I can really change mine. I can't change upper level management. I can't change that sometimes nurses are paid in pizza. I can't change the way your boss treats you, the way your coworkers treat you, none of that. But I can bring in new perspective. I can bring food for thought, some encouragement. And sure, I truthfully only have about 6 years experience, but I think that 6 years has given me a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of knowledge, and a whole lot of grit. So my heart behind this podcast is to empower you, love on you, encourage you, and bring restoration. We need restoration to fall back in love with our profession because let's be honest, do we really love it right now? No. There are multiple ways that I want to partner with you in this season of your life through this podcast. One of those avenues is through helping you understand yourself better. And I want to do that through personality development tools. Now, I love personality development. I have been researching the Myers-Briggs and the Enneagram. I've been researching this stuff since I was 15, and I'm now 32, so it's been a while, and I do have quite a bit of knowledge on the subject, and I've come to realize in my own practice as a nurse that when I understand myself, I can better understand others. When I can recognize that I'm going in a pattern of stress or growth, when I can recognize those things and temper myself or continue in that growth, I am a lot happier and I have a lot more grace for others. And grace is something I feel like nurses in general don't show each other. We don't show each other grace, mercy, a whole lot of kindness. We bully each other a lot. That needs to stop. But I can't make that stop. However, I can give new perspective to who you are and help you deal with those situations differently, in a better, healthier way. And when we understand ourselves and when we are able to understand others and empathize with others better, we will inevitably create a better work environment, an environment that's less toxic, an environment that is conducive to functioning in peace and providing even better care for our patients. The other way that I want to partner with you is through faith, encouragement, empowerment. For me personally, faith is a huge part of who I am and how I practice as a nurse. So I will reference my faith. You'll hear me say God, you'll hear me say Jesus, but please know you don't have to hold the same beliefs that I do to really get something out of this podcast. This podcast is intended to be a safe place for everyone, for every healthcare professional. You have a seat at my table always. Please know that. But faith, I can't not talk about it because it's part of who I am and it just naturally comes out in conversation. And I feel like faith has kind of been lost recently. I mean, the past 2 years have just been a struggle. And I want to help us rediscover that part of ourselves and delve back into it, because I don't know about you, but I've been angry, disappointed, frustrated, pretty much every negative emotion that you can imagine I've had towards God. And I'm here to tell you, He's not afraid of that. He's not afraid of your emotion. He's not afraid of the questions that you have for Him. He's not afraid of you telling Him, hey, I don't like you right now. He's not afraid of that. He's bigger than that. He's going to actually meet you down on the wrestling mat and you guys can just, fight it out. He's fine with that. So I want to encourage you and tell you that if you're in a place where you're just angry and you feel like you're losing your faith, this is also a safe space for you because I've been there. I have been in those trenches right where you are. You are not alone in that. So that's a pillar on which I want to build this podcast, is to just meet you in this season and bring back maybe some renewal of understanding God's character in your life. And truthfully, I just want to be a source of encouragement for you. I personally don't believe healthcare professionals are encouraged like we should be, partly because our families don't really understand. Our non-medical friends don't get it. And then we're not encouraged at work. In fact, it's always, what could you have done differently? And how can we improve next time? It's never, hey, you are a good nurse. You are an outstanding surgeon. I don't typically hear that. And so I'm guessing you probably don't either. So I want to be that source of encouragement. Not like when the pandemic started, when, nurses were called heroes. I don't know where that went, but that is totally gone now. Because that's not really going to do you any good if I sit here, oh yeah, you're a hero. My goal is to encourage you by getting to the heart of who you are and encouraging positive self-talk, self-reflection, and utilizing daily tools that can improve your mindset about you and your practice. So that's a little bit about my podcast and what I plan to bring to the table. There will probably be other things thrown in here and there, but that's just the gist of what I want to bring for you as someone who wants to partner with you. And I realize I am not some theologian or some licensed counselor or PhD professor. I'm not any of those things. But I am here. I am walking this path with you. And while no path is the same, we are walking through similar emotions, similar experiences, and we can feed off of each other. We can either choose to feed off of the negativity, or we can choose to feed off of what is positive and what can we actually change about ourselves and about our work environments. What can we do differently to improve on who we are? And I kind of can't believe I just said, what can we do differently? I guess there is a time and a place for that. But truly, what can we do within ourselves and within our hearts to make life easier? So join me I would love to partner with you and walk with you in this really hard season and hopefully encourage you to stay just even a little bit longer in this profession. Just keep holding on to that little bit of faith that this can get better. So please join me next week because I plan on jumping into personality development. I want to introduce the Enneagram because I think it is truly an amazing tool to help us understand ourselves and others. It's really well known in the Christian community, so you may be familiar with it, you may not be. It's especially used in counseling, marriage counseling, that kind of thing. But in the medical field, I find that not many people seem to know about it. So I want to introduce that, and I'm really excited about it. It's something I'm super passionate about. So I hope that you will join me again next week. You can also follow me on the socials. My Insta is at the Enneagram Nurse. You can find me on Facebook too, but I'll be honest, I really don't use that very much. I primarily use Instagram. So if you want to get in touch with me, follow me, I would love it. Please feel free, and I hope you have an amazing day.